Good morning. How the devil are we? Just thought I'd come on, have a little chit chat to you all and see how you are. I am just heading to the supermarket, so I thought I'd have a little chat in the car if that's okay. I'm just heading out to the supermarket to get a bit of a weekly shop. I'm not going crazy. To be honest, the main reason I came out was to scout the house for a little bit. Anybody else do that? Anybody else just think, oh, Mr. Magpie, I'll just get out for a little bit. I'll just go walk around the supermarket. The joys of being a mum, eh? The joys of being a mum. Gone are the days of walking around the clothes shops. We now just walk around the supermarkets, don't we? Just to get out the house for an hour. I've spent all morning editing a video of Chris and I basically ambushed him the other day, but the content was like 2 hours, so I knew it was going to be an absolute nightmare to watch. I could have done it in a two-parter, I guess, but I wasn't sure. Let's see how it goes down. I'm not sure if it's content that you guys want or like, or I think it's great. I think it's really quite funny. Chris opens up about, you know, a topic that he has wanted to talk about, but he's been putting off. And I think Chris is quite, like, even just listening to it, I just like wanted him to watch it and see if he was good with it. And he was like, oh, there's quite a lot of swearing. And because I ambushed him, Oliver's playing on his game in the room, in the kitchen. So it's basically, you can hear a lot of Oliver shouting, which I hope you guys don't mind, because it was real and it was natural and it was just like quick, like, let's talk about it, rather than a full-on stage, sit down, let's talk. So, you know, it is a little bit more, it's definitely not perfect, and Chris is definitely more of a perfectionist, which is useful. I think we are yin and yang, Chris and I think that is very useful. However, he would probably stall it, he probably wouldn't have posted it, he probably would have happily let it just disappear into the atmosphere. But I actually think I really enjoyed it. I like Chris and I's videos, if I'm being honest, but that's maybe just more for me. I want it to go live, even though it's definitely far from perfect. But it's quite funny. It's a serious topic, but Chris being Chris lightens it, and we have quite a giggle. So yeah, we'll see how that goes. But it took me ages to edit it. I've tried to like cut it down to, I don't know, it's hard, isn't it? Because it's mine and my husband's conversation. So, and it is genuinely mine and Chris's conversation. So it's tricky to know what other people would find funny or entertaining. I've been watching a little bit of the Buckleys. I don't know if anybody follows them, At Home with the Buckleys, and they're very funny. And actually, Chris reminds me a lot of James. Like, he is quite dry, but he's just brilliant with Claire. Like, he just, yeah, they're really, really sweet. I think they add the comedy. Obviously, theirs is a comedy podcast, but yeah. Has anybody got any recommendations? I also really, really enjoy watching people's Dubai vlogs. I've been watching Saffron Barker and of the Ingham family, and just their videos, because I like the fact that they are very down to earth and they just do it. They just don't care, and they crack on. So I have been watching lots of vlogs like that. If anybody's got any recommendations for the vlogs, please do share. So I'm nipping to Tesco's, and I'm also got a new obsession with dates. My friends all were barbecuing them when we went camping, and to be honest, I don't even know if I've ever tried a date before. It was all very much like, I just thought like new trips years ago to Dubai, and that's all I think of, like Dubai and dates, and they're like big, I don't even know, they're always like covered in stuff, so I don't think I really knew what to do with dates. But I know they're kind of going viral, aren't they? I mean, everybody's loving a date, so I guess I'm jumping on that bandwagon. Oh God, I manifested my favourite car parking space. Anybody else do this? I have a favourite parking space in this Tesco's, and I love getting it. It's like the best one. It's the best one because it's close enough. Do I go right through? Do I be that person and go right through? Because I've just drove in. I'm going to be that person because they're both good spots. But it's right next to the trolley drop off. It's quite close to the front door. Yeah, anybody else do that? Is that just me? I love to manifest a car parking space. So it's part of your reticular activating system, part of your RAS, your reticular activating system, where your brain can hold so much, like a filing cabinet is, it holds so much, but when you bring it to the front, it's the front part of your brain, it can focus on something. So it's a bit like saying, I want to see a yellow car, or I want to manifest my car parking spot, and then you always get that. And it's kind of like a self-fulfilling prophecy. It's like, I knew I'd get that. If you're gonna, oh, I'm gonna have a bad day, I'm gonna have a bad day, I'm, you know, well, then you're probably going to have a bad day. Or if you go, I'm going to have a good day, I'm going to get the parking spot, then you kind of want to fulfill that and prove yourself right. So it's the RAS. So that was exciting that I jumped straight into that spot. Also, I'm just going to make this like a bit of a vlog. I'm not going to show you around Tesco's because, well, I'm not brave enough to vlog in Tesco's, and I'm not going to be doing anything very interesting. I'm just going to get a few little bits, but I do have some clips of the week, so I'm just going to add them. I'm going to add them in. Had a nice week. We went up to Newcastle to the Life Museum, which was really nice. I actually really recommend that. I spent 3 years in Newcastle at uni, and of course I never went to one museum. So the Life Museum, I knew exactly where it was because we used to go to a nightclub there every single Tuesday, so I knew where I was going, but I never actually went inside, and I would definitely think we could have easily made a whole day of it. We did leave at one point just to wander around Newcastle, so we got there at like 10 and we left the museum about 3, but to be honest, we could have easily stayed longer and let the kids just explore more. We were probably getting off quick. They were like exhausted of it. They were, you know, they didn't exhaust every part of the museum by any stretch of the imagination, and it was obviously nice and quiet and stuff, so they really enjoyed it, and it was quite free. It was quite, you know, it was nice to roam around, and the workshops were really good, so we had a really good day up there. So I'll insert some clips, but I think we'll definitely head back up there again. And the train to Newcastle's so easy, isn't it? So that was nice. And we also Oliver got a paw pal. How fun is that? I've seen like these cafes where you can go and do it, but Grandma got him a paw pal the other day. If you haven't seen them, they're basically like a bear, and then you pour the paint over and it's all drippy, and that was really cool. So he loves doing like his creative things like that. And I think that's all we really did this week. It was been very, very hot, so we had friends over and got the paddling pool out, which was quite nice, but I didn't vlog any of that. But yeah, all in all, a nice week. We're wrapping up the year, or the school year, with some like kind of nice things before summer. In the next couple of weeks, everything will slow down for us, and we will have like a 6-week holiday of such. Some of Oliver's homeschool things do carry on, but I've kept the diary relatively free because I'm enjoying, I want to just enjoy some slower periods and just kind of like be a bit more ad hoc with the days. And his actual structured learning will slow down a little bit over that period, and then we'll be rested and ready to go again in September. But that's kind of our plan for the next few weeks. So I will intend to do a little bit more vlogging because, like I said, I've been really enjoying watching other people's vlogs, and I'd like to do a vlog of York and get out and see York from like more of a tourist point of view. I've lived in York all my life, so I pretty much know a lot of it. But when I watch like some of the tourist vlogs in York, I'm like, oh, didn't know that was there. Oh, didn't know, because when you live here, you don't tend to do the touristy things. So, and it's really nice actually, but because we host students, we see their point of view as well. It'd be nice to just kind of, maybe I'll just do a vlog for them, basically, and the things that I would want to do and see if I was visiting York. And then I can send the link to them, can't I? And they can watch it and be like, oh yeah, we're going to try all this out. So yeah, that's my plan of attack. I'm going to go into Tesco's now. the car from Tesco's. Probably wandered around slower than needed, but I'm heading back home now to kind of just carve out a little bit of time for me, because this is what sets me up for a good week. As long as I've got on top of the stuff that I want to do, the rest can wait, honestly. And that is, I've been doing Ridiculously Rich, a masterclass with Francesca Amber this week. There's practices every day. I think I've mentioned it on another vlog, but and I have been conscious of it, and I've been thinking about it, and I've had kind of a good week calling in the money and kind of working on some money mindset. But I'm going to sit down this afternoon and journal properly. So I'm going to listen back to all the little clips. They're only about 5 to 10 minutes, and journal heavy on them and just really hash it out and come to like kind of a roundup of the week. And I also want to do the next chapter of our book, Visualize, because there will be a podcast coming out soon. So it'd be nice if I've got that tomorrow. I can put my headphones on and listen to that. That will be good. So that's what I'm going to prioritise when I get back home. Maybe I'll have some lunch first and then I'll prioritise that. But with the intention of doing that, and then, because that always lifts my spirit actually, it really raises my vibration and my energy levels come up once I'm doing some of my own stuff, what I class as my own stuff, like the self-development stuff. The stuff I love to do with the sprinkle of a witchy woo-woo, which is kind of like a little regroup of my brain, like my little mental fitness. It's like my little workout for the brain. I think that's what it is. My workouts have been really bad as well this week, so I need to get back this week. So I need to actually open up the calendar, see what we've got going on, and make sure I put in the exact days that I am going to work out. I do prefer to work out in the morning, and to be honest, if I don't work out in the morning, it doesn't happen. Very rarely does it happen later on in the day, which is a shame. I mean, maybe I could try something new, but just check the mornings that I know are totally doable for me to get a workout and put them in the calendar. And then we're halfway there, aren't we? So that's what I want to do when I get back. I do have a pile of ironing, but that's going to be lower down the priority, but I should get all that stuff done today. There's no reason why. That's kind of the old day in a nutshell, really. So I was saying on my podcast, because it's my second podcast of my private membership this week, I was just saying on my podcast about like the money mindset work and money psychology, and it's something that you have to regularly do. It's definitely something that you have to keep leveling up, and every stage is different. And you know, even if you're working on it and you're releasing some money blocks and some limiting beliefs, there'll be always new things that come up, and it's really important to make sure you start unpacking it. Francesca says that imagine all your money blocks and your money beliefs are like boulders in a stream, and it's stopping the flow of money, and what you have to do is make sure you keep taking them away, and new ones will form, but you have to make sure you keep unpacking them to allow the flow of money, and allow you to receive, and allow it to be safe to receive. And anything, you know, we all have these weird and wonderful money blocks, and we think they may come from childhood, and we may think we've unpacked them, and then we may gain new ones along the way. So it's about being conscious of them and knowing if there's anything that's holding you back, and stopping the flow, because money is just energy. It's not good, it's not bad, it's just energy, it's just flow. So we've got to allow it to flow, and not let anything get in the way, have we? Because who doesn't want the money to flow? Like, everybody wants the money to flow, right? Surely there's not one person that does not want money to flow. That would be crazy. I've actually had quite a productive afternoon. I did everything I wanted to do in terms of my self-development and all like my magical witchy stuff. My night oil is running out, and I got this from the Health and Healing, and it's got saffron in, and I just love the colour. It makes my skin go. But yes, I did all my bits that I wanted to do, which was nice, and I feel ready for the week ahead, to be honest. It just makes all the world of difference when I just have a little mental regroup. And I've talked about Sunday resets before, and there's so much more to a Sunday reset than just checking the calendar, you know, doing the ironing, although I've done both of them things, but just generally having a little regroup, seeing where you are can just make the whole world a difference. But I was thinking, like, I feel like I've barely vlogged this week. Barely posted any videos or anything this week. It's been kind of weird. So, I don't know, it made me think, like, obviously I have been doing the YouTube shorts, my 33-day gratitude practice, the power of 3. So they've been like shorts every day. So I have been posting every day, but they're completely different. It's like posting on Instagram. It's just like a post. It's not like this, like sit down talky stuff. And I feel like I've actually missed it. And I have posted too. I've posted too this week. So I don't know why I feel like that. And maybe I need to just get into a bit of a better routine of like when I'm posting. But that also doesn't feel very organic. It feels like it's going to be too like scheduled and too like over-engineered, when I just kind of like to just go with the flow a little bit more. I was just thinking then in the shower, I just had a cold shower because it's very super duper hot. I did think in the shower that might do Vlogmas, which is daily vlogging every day in August. Now that is a big bold move if I do that. I'm not gonna lie, that is like huge if I do that, because don't know how much content I could create every single day for 30 days of September, April, June and November, all the rest of 31 days. So 31 days to create content every day is like bold. But I mean, I would love to do that. I would love to get in a position where I could do that. And I guess they wouldn't have to be like super long, but just the fact that I'd have to film and edit every single day would be massive progression, like would be massive growth for me. Just because we're not used to doing it, are we? So let's see, no pressure on that one. I would have to look at the calendar and go, okay, like what could I actually physically do? Like what could I show? What could I talk about? And it would be a vlog, so it wouldn't be able to like batch produce anything and then put it out. It would be completely, the classic daily vlogging. So I don't know, we'll see. So that was just a little moment I had in the shower. But I have got plans also for August, so would be a big push. I've really enjoyed doing the YouTube shorts, the power of 3, the gratitude practice, and it's really, really good to just be intentional and kind of just make sure that like every day we're kind of just regrouping and coming up with these little ideas and stuff. So I've really enjoyed it. Now that originally was another idea, but it manifested into these YouTube shorts. And I would really like to take it back to the original idea and produce something as, I guess, a bit of a follow-on, or that could go hand in hand with this. I would really like that to happen in August as well. But I want to be realistic, because obviously this channel is creating balance and we could work around the clock and we could push ourselves too hard, but it doesn't seem like it's very sustainable to me, and it doesn't feel like it would be, I wouldn't be putting something out that I would be 100% happy with, because it would be like rushed through. So we'll see. If that doesn't happen, who knows? I mean, maybe we do daily vlogging in December. I don't know. I'd love to get to that stage, I think. And I didn't think I would say that, so I don't know where that's come from. I was just doing some journaling this afternoon, finishing up reading another chapter of the Visualize book, and I actually do feel like I haven't spoke much about books over the last few vlogs, but basically I haven't been reading as much. So I haven't really had much to talk about. I haven't been reading as much because I think when we were doing the 90 day plan, that was very much, I was reading a lot and I wanted to get through a lot of books. And I do have some books that I want to read. I'm kind of in the doing stage now. I've kind of consumed a lot then, and now I've got to be actioning things, so just don't have as much time to read. But I am enjoying the visualization book. So the chapter I've just read now was actually negative visualization. So she talks about 5 different types of visualization and all the types that you can use. And this particular chapter is about negative visualization, which was very interesting because I don't think I've ever done that before. I actually don't allow myself to kind of spiral too much. Sometimes it's out of my control and the negative spiral can kind of happen because I am naturally in my own head. This was like a whole practice, and she talked about like how athletes can use this, and how she gave this example of a swimmer, and he would mentally rehearse anything negative that could happen, one including his goggles filling up. And then it actually happened in his competition, and had to swim half of the race completely blind, couldn't see anything. And because he's mentally prepared for that, actually the outcome was fine and he went on to win, because it wasn't like terrifying, because he rehearsed and he knew he was allowing himself to kind of overcome them things in the mental rehearsal. So I thought that was really interesting, actually. I mean, we could argue it actually manifested it because he was thinking about it. And she does actually touch on that. If you do a lot of negative visualization, or you can spiral, it's not a good practice. And that actually there's more results come out of negative visualization. But I honestly think it's probably balanced. And I think like doing if you're going through something and you've got like something that keeps coming up and it's a bit of fear, allow yourself to just, when you're feeling comfortable and you're in a safe space, allow yourself to just mentally rehearse what's the worst case scenario and how you would get out of it. Because actually, that worst case scenario could manifest into something else if you feel in control. If you don't feel in control, then obviously it can be just downhill from there. Yeah, I quite like the idea of that. I will not do loads of negative visualizations because I prefer to use it in a to be a positive practice, but I did think that was quite good, actually. I quite like that. So I've just got into bed, or I'm just about to get into bed, and talking of books, I've been reading this. Well, I said been reading this. I've read like one chapter. Oh, and can we just acknowledge how cute this is? Rose Quartz. It's a romance rose quartz bookmark for my romance book. How good is that? Although I'm not sure the teacher is romance or spice, but I did read, there's a whole series of these. Frida McFadden, I read The Housemaid, and I love that. And she writes in really short chapters and they all like cliffhangers, so you cannot put it down. So I have started this. I want to just read a bit more tonight and get engrossed in it, because I think it will be one of them again. It's absolutely, it's a total thriller really, and you just can't put it down. But what I was thinking was, does anybody fancy me doing kind of a video on spicy reads, and kind of just a bit more, because obviously I've done the self-development. I've done a couple of self-development book recommendations and what I'm reading now. But I just thought maybe some spicy reads, if anybody wants any recommendations on that and what I've enjoyed reading. So when we went camping, some of the mums were telling me all about some kind of like fantasies, what do they call it? Romance and fantasies together, and kind of, they were telling me some books that were kind of good introductory levels, because I've got The Fourth Wing and I've started reading it, but it's too much for me. So I think I just need to scale it back, nothing that's too intimidating, and then hopefully start on something that I can kind of reach. I didn't even think like The Twilight. I really enjoyed the movies, so maybe I could get on board with something like that. I don't know. Or not, just continue reading my crappy spicy reads. Like, do I need to have all the fantasy stuff? Who knows? I thought, yeah, if anyone's interested, let me know and I can do a little review on that. But other than that, it was nice to kind of regroup with you, have a little chat today. I hope you all have a great week, and I will see you soon. Thanks for watching. Bye.